Beautiful people, welcome back. Society loves to categorize people, especially when it comes to relationships. And one group that's constantly misunderstood is Sigma females. They're strong, resilient, and fiercely independent, but when it comes to friendships, many of them seem to be taking a step back. It's easy to label them as the lone wolves or too intense, but there's a lot more to their story. Today, we're exploring 10 honest reasons why Sigma females are walking away from friendship. And maybe you're here because you feel the same way, or perhaps you're curious about the mindset behind this choice. Either way, stick around because each reason reveals a part of the Sigma female's world. A world where loyalty, independence, and authenticity matter above all else. This isn't just about saying no to toxic relationships. It's about reclaiming time, energy, and peace. So, if you're ready to learn what makes these remarkable women tick, or even how to adopt some of these qualities yourself, grab your coffee, settle in, and let's jump right into it. Number 1. Loyalty without limits until it's betrayed. Sigma females are those rare friends who, when they commit fully. Imagine having a friend who would drop everything to support you, stand by your side in your darkest moments, and always have your back, no questions asked. That's the level of loyalty they bring to the table. But here's the catch. This intense loyalty often goes unreturned. Maybe they're the ones who consistently initiate plans, check up on others, and give advice, only to realize that when they need support, no one's there. It's like giving away a piece of themselves, only to get crumbs in return. So why stay in friendships that aren't equally invested? One Sigma female, let's call her Emily, shared a story about a friend she'd been there for countless times. But when Emily needed help moving apartments, that friend was too busy. That was a turning point for her. Loyalty, after all, isn't a one-way street. Beautiful people, loyalty is precious. And Sigma females just know when it's time to stop walking down a one-way road. They're not interested in staying in friendships where their loyalty is undervalued. Number 2. Refusing to settle for surface-level friendships. Sigmas crave depth. They're not interested in conversations that hover on the surface, like discussing the weather or gossiping about the latest reality show drama. What they're after is real connection, discussions about dreams, goals, personal growth, and even fears. A Sigma female values friendships where people truly open up, where there's a raw, unfiltered exchange. Picture this. A Sigma female, maybe someone like Jessica, is sitting in a coffee shop, listening to a friend ramble on about someone else's social media life. But Jessica wants to talk about her plans to start a side hustle or her struggle with balancing work and personal time. The friend, however, stays shallow, sticking to safe topics. Over time, Jessica starts to feel that this friend simply isn't on the same page. So, she begins to pull back, not out of anger, but because her time and energy are too precious to waste on surface-level connections. Beautiful people, it's about quality, not quantity. Sigma females would rather have 1 or 2 friends who genuinely get them than a dozen who barely scratch the surface. Number 3. The independence factor. They don't need validation. A defining trait of Sigma females? They don't rely on others for validation. They built their sense of self from within, and they aren't dependent on friendships to feel secure or valued. While this is an incredible strength, it can create friction in friendships where others might feel a lack of closeness. Some friends interpret this as not caring enough, but that's far from the truth. For instance, a Sigma might not call or text daily, but that doesn't mean they don't value the friendship. They're just not the type to constantly check in, and they don't expect that in return. Independence is part of who they are. If a friend needs constant reassurance or feels insecure when there isn't daily communication, that can become draining for a Sigma female. So, they're careful to nurture friendships that respect their independence. Beautiful people, independence doesn't mean they don't care. It means they value their space and understand that true friendship doesn't require constant validation. Number 4. No room for drama, just peace. Sigma females have a low tolerance for drama. In fact, many of them have left friendships over unnecessary drama, be it gossip, passive aggressiveness, or the constant back and forth of petty issues. They value peace over everything and avoid people who disrupt that. Take Lisa, for example, a Sigma who used to have a friend who thrived on drama. Every hangout was filled with complaints about others, judgment, and needless conflict. Lisa found herself drained after every meetup, realizing that instead of filling her cup, this friendship was emptying it. Eventually, she stepped away. Beautiful people, why tolerate chaos when peace is an option? For Sigma females, it's a simple choice. Life is too short to get caught up in other people's storms. Number 5. High standards, no apologies. Sigma females are often labeled as picky or too intense for having high standards. But to them, these standards aren't negotiable. They believe friendship should be built on trust, respect, and mutual support. They're not interested in half-hearted friendships. Consider Rachel, a Sigma female who doesn't settle for just any friendship. She has no problem with the fact that her friend circle is small. To her, it's about quality, not quantity. Some people tell her she's too hard to be friends with, but she laughs it off because she knows her worth. Beautiful people, having high standards isn't being picky. It's knowing your value and making sure you're surrounded by people who match it. Number 6. Energy vampires. Sigma females don't play that game. Energy vampires, the friends who always take but never give. Sigma females are hyper-aware of these types. They recognize when a friend only calls to complain, seek advice, or unload their problems, never offering support in return. This imbalance is draining, and Sigma females won't tolerate it for long. Take Sarah, a Sigma who had a friend constantly calling her in a crisis, but was never around when Sarah needed advice or support. Over time, Sarah realized that this friend only viewed her as a source of strength, not as a friend to support mutually. Eventually, Sarah made the choice to step back and reserve her energy for people who valued her. Beautiful people, energy is finite, and Sigma females choose to protect theirs. They want friendships that energize, not drain. Number 7. Emotional resilience. They don't need the fixer-upper friendships. Sigma females are naturally resilient. They can handle life struggles on their own and rarely need others to fix their problems. This can sometimes lead to misunderstandings, where friends feel excluded from their inner world or assume they're being too distant. But for Sigmas, they don't view friendship as a dependency. They prefer friendships where both people bring strength to the table. If someone constantly needs saving or a friend to lean on, it can become overwhelming. Take Clara, for instance, a Sigma female who found herself in friendships where she was always the therapist. Over time, she realized that she wanted friendships based on mutual support, not one-sided rescue missions. Number 8. Trust is earned and broken only once. Sigma females are cautious with trust. Once they let someone in, it's serious. But one betrayal? That's a line crossed. They believe in giving people chances, but betrayal shatters their trust, and they rarely look back. Consider Ava, a Sigma female who found out that a close friend had shared something deeply personal about her. Ava didn't confront the friend. Instead, she quietly cut ties. For Sigmas, protecting their peace and privacy is non-negotiable. Beautiful people, trust is a fragile thing, and Sigma females guard it carefully. They'd rather walk away than live in a friendship that feels unsafe. Number 9. Limited social energy, quality over quantity. Sigma females recharge in solitude. They're selective about who gets their social energy, and they don't waste it on people who don't truly matter. This doesn't mean they don't like people. It just means they value their time and energy. Imagine Jenna, a Sigma who's careful about her social calendar. She prefers deep, meaningful connections over large social gatherings. People sometimes think she's distant, but for her, it's just about protecting her peace. Beautiful people, Sigma females prioritize their energy, knowing that true friends understand their need for space. Number 10. Outgrowing friendships is a natural process. Sigma females evolve constantly, and as they grow, their priorities shift. They might find themselves outgrowing friendships that no longer align with their values or goals, and instead of clinging to old connections, they let go gracefully. Like Emma, A Sigma who started focusing on self-growth and found that her friends just weren't on the same path. She didn't end things with resentment. She just recognized that sometimes growth means moving on. Beautiful people, friendships can be challenging, but for Sigma females, walking away isn't about resentment. It's about knowing their worth and protecting their energy. It's a journey to find friends who truly understand and respect who they are. And remember, if any of these points resonate, it might be time to consider the quality of the connections in your life too. If you enjoyed this dive into the Sigma female mindset, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below, and stay tuned for more empowering content. Having said that, go out there, embrace your inner Sigma, and live life on your terms.